Well, hi everybody. It's time for our monthly tarots. It would help if I turned the mic on, wouldn't it? Hi everybody. It's time for our monthly tarot spread for February 2026. We have our standard questions for the month ahead, and that is, what is the energy of the month ahead? What will blossom this month? What needs to be released this month? What does Spirit want us to manifest this month? How to best focus our energy this month, and guidance from Spirit. So, those are our questions. As you can see, we have our cards here, and I'll pull each one up individually. And I've got all my notes that I wrote down. Mixing up notes here. Let's not do that. Okay. So, number one. What is the energy of the month ahead? For that, we drew the Ace of Wands. Now, the Ace of Wands can kind of be considered like a gift, an idea, a project, a new career opportunity, different things that can be presented to you during this time that we're being told, pay attention to when it comes around, and then take advantage of it with confidence and gratitude. So a lot of times you'll find people who are not happy in their lives, they're not happy in their jobs, but they don't actively look for something to change. They just sort of sit there and wait for something to present itself. Now, the only faulty thinking with that is most of the time when you sit around waiting for it to present itself, you tend not to pay attention when it actually shows up. So that's one of the things we need to be aware of this month, is look for those new ideas, those new projects, those new career opportunities. Things are going to present themselves to you. And as they do, pay attention so that you can actually step out and do something about it. All right, now next up we have what will blossom this month. And for that we drew the Three of Wands. Now the Three of Wands is basically, that's telling you you've kind of made a choice of what you're going to do, and now you have to kind of wait for the results of that choice. So a new job opportunity presents itself as per the first question. Now you're looking at this and you're thinking, do I or don't I? What is the best thing for me to do? And once you kind of make your choice, as either you're going to go for it or you're going to ignore it, then you have to kind of sit around and wait for the results of that choice. When it's, my ear won't pop. When it's something that, let's say you've sort of ignored, it's like you kind of see it there and you think, yeah, no, I'll never get that. So you don't even try. And so then you have to wait around for the results of seeing who did get it, that did try. And maybe you were a hell of a lot more, qualified for that position than the person who got it. But because you didn't try for it, that opportunity never came your way. Now, on the other hand, if you see that opportunity arise and you think, oh, there's my golden opportunity to try for something better, and you go in and you interview for it, maybe you have several interviews for it, you're still kind of stuck in the waiting game for them to make up their mind of who they're going to go with. And sometimes that can be more painful than just not accepting it at all. But if we don't step out and try, then it makes it really difficult for us to complain about where we are. So, third question up. what needs to be released this month? And for that, we were given the King of Swords. Now, the King of Swords, he represents your intelligence at the core of your being, your persona, who you are deep down inside. And part of that is your intelligence. You have to use that intelligence in order to create a more successful life. So you saw that opportunity, you went and applied for the job, and now you're in holding pattern, waiting for that result. Well, one of the ways it will help you to do that is to release the stress of waiting. You have an opportunity for a more successful life. Now you've stepped out, you've taken a chance on this opportunity. Maybe you get it, maybe you don't, but at least you try, and that's what counts. Once you try, then that gives you the benefit of being able to share your wisdom about that with others who may be facing some of the same challenges. It lets you explain kind of where your thinking was, why you did or didn't apply for that new job. And it helps you to mentor others who may be afraid to step out and try for that new job, even though they would be highly qualified for it. So it's King of Swords, and it not just the intellect that he represents, but also just telling us that you're self-assured. That's kind of his persona, the way he sits, the way he holds his sword. He's very self-assured. He doesn't have to have somebody come and tell him every 10 minutes, you're the king. He knows he's the king, and he acts like the king. And he's comfortable enough in his position of king that he's willing to share his ideas and his opinions, maybe share some of the struggles that he's had in his life. That's what makes a truly approachable leadership position with someone that you meet. Maybe it's not a king, so to speak, but it's a mayor or a committee chair or a governor or a representative or a senator. The point being is that they all had to step out of their comfort box and take that chance to do something new. And because they did, they got that position that they're now in. So now they have the privilege of being the king, so to speak. It also puts them in a position of being able to share their wisdom and their beliefs and what they had to do to get to that position. And so as Spirit asks us, what do we need to release this month? I feel like what he's showing us with the King of Swords is that it's just because you're the king does not mean that you don't have problems, that you don't have issues that you have to deal with on a day-to-day basis. And so I think that's part of what Spirit wants us to release this month, is that fear of being in a leadership position, that fear of stepping out and applying for that new job, or getting married, or getting divorced, depends. They don't all have to be very happy and or very sad things. They can be both in one and the same. It just depends on the circumstances surrounding it. Now, most people would think, oh, divorce, that's horrible. It can be. Sometimes it's a lifesaver. because you're hooked up with somebody who abuses you. Whether if it's physically, mentally, emotionally, it doesn't matter. They put their thumb down on you and they hold you down until you have the courage to say no more. And you let it go and you walk away from that. Now, while some people may look at that and say, oh, poor Harry, poor Sue, they got divorced. Well, maybe it's the best thing to ever happen to Harry or Sue is that they got divorced, because then that allows them to find that new opportunity of maybe that new spouse that's out there waiting for them to be ready. Again, it's all in your perspective and how you want to approach it. So when we talk about what we need to release this month, I think what Spirit is trying to emphasize here is releasing the fear of the unknown, the fear of the new. Now, next up we have, what does Spirit want us to manifest this month? And for that, we got the Hanging Man. Now, we all know that the Hanging Man is all about knowing when and what to sacrifice, a time of inaction, a calm waiting. While that may be a good thing sometimes to kind of take a step back and let's wait a little bit and see what happens here, it can also become a trap where you hang back for so long that it's no longer just waiting to see what's going to happen next. It becomes stagnation. And you don't move anywhere. You don't do or go anywhere because you're stuck in that stagnant position. And so there are always times when it's best to wait. Kind of step back, wait, let's see how this is going to go. Before I go any further, let's kind of get a feel, a layout of the land, see what's going to happen. And there's nothing wrong with that. A lot of times that's a really smart thing to do, is to kind of wait just a little bit, see what's going to happen. But there's that fine line where that waiting can go just a little bit too much. And next thing you know, you're in a stagnant pool, a cesspool, and you're surrounded with stagnant things that don't grow, don't develop, don't move forward. And so that's what we need to manifest this month, is the knowledge and the understanding of when it's wise to wait and when it's wise to step out and move forward. And I think that's what the Hanging Man represents here. Yes, he's waiting, and he's kind of got his legs wrapped up in some chains and whatnot, but he's not tied up to the point that he can't get loose on his own. It would be nothing for him to get loose from that tangled mess of chains. And so a lot of times what holds us back are our own chains that we are too terrified to loosen ourselves from. And because of that, we stagnate. So part of what we need to manifest this month of knowing when to wait and when to step out and move forward. Now, next up, we got how to best focus your energy this month. And for that, we got the Seven of Pentacles. Now, the Seven of Pentacles, that stands for assessing the return on an investment. That's analyzing the results of a project. That's how to improve a process. Okay, so opportunity approaches itself. We decide to step out and apply for that new job. Now we've made that decision. We kind of have to sit back and wait, see what's going to happen, because it's not going to happen by 2 o'clock tomorrow. It's going to take a little bit. Once that happens, then we need to follow what the King of Swords does in order to release the anxiety of that this month. Don't sit and fret about it. Don't email them like 10 times a day. Did you make a decision? Did you make a decision? That's a real good way to not get picked, okay? That's when you call upon your wisdom and intellect, as well as others around you, on when it's time to kind of step forward or hold back. That's part of what we're to manifest, is that hanging man, the wisdom to know when to wait and when to go. And so when we're told how to best focus our energy this month, that is focusing on this new opportunity that's come your way, and knowing how to analyze all the pros and cons so that you know whether or not you're going to accept the job if they offer it to you. I mean, I've applied for jobs before and then sat and prayed to the Almighty above, please don't let them pick me, because I knew I wasn't qualified for the job, or I knew it wasn't a job I was going to be happy with. And so that's part of how to focus our energy this month, is knowing what will and what won't work for us. Now, when you look at the Seven of Pentacles there, she's collecting the fruit of her labor. She's done the harvest. Everything has come to fruition, as you can see in the tree. And so she's there to pluck it all from the tree and make it work for her. That's part of how we focus our energy. Stepping forward, we've applied for the position. We're thinking about, are we going to take it or not? We know we've made the choice. Now we got to wait. Now, we don't want to wait too long, but we don't want to rush it. As long as you keep working at being a better person yourself, you're going to see results of the Seven of Pentacles, because this is someone who has sown the seeds, harvested the land, and now they're being able to collect the fruit of their labor. That's what that all comes about. Now, lastly, we've got guidance from Spirit. And for that, we pulled the Moon. Now, the Moon is kind of telling you to pay attention to your dreams and intuition, to face your fears, even if you only do it a little at a time. One baby step at a time is fine. And attend to your soul. Now, it helps to remember that the moon illuminates to a certain degree, but you don't see the whole picture. You don't see the whole thing going on. You only see bits and pieces of it that kind of shows up under the sporadic light of the moon. It's not like you're in the sun where everything is lit up. There's a lot of things in shadow. This may be the fact that Spirit is telling us we need to work on our shadow selves. Once we start doing that, we tend to get to the point where we're able to cut cords from the negative things that are in our lives, whether it's in our current life or a past life, and we're able to cut that cord so we're no longer dragging that along with us. It's in the past. It's gone. It's done. Perfect. And so it feels like, especially with this drawing, what the moon is trying to tell us is to pay attention to our intuitive selves. Pay attention to know, when is it the right time to wait? When is it the right time to push forward? When is it the right time to rely upon your own intelligence and the intelligence of others? And when is it time to kind of just, again, get back and wait and see what's going to happen? And through it all, we've been working our field, we've been harvesting our crops. And as the Seven of Pentacles showed us, we're starting to pick the fruit of the tree so that we can enjoy our labor, what we've worked at. And so I feel like what guidance that Spirit is trying to give us is to pay attention to our dreams, pay attention to our intuition, because that is going to let us know when is it time to step out and when is it time to kind of pull back and wait a little bit longer, just a little bit. When it's time to do any of the things that the rest of this reading has pointed towards. Part of the moon is knowing when to follow your dreams and your intuition so that you know when it's the right time to make your move. And when you do that, you're attending to your soul. You're making your soul feel better. So that's what I got for y'all this month. Not a whole lot of drastic stuff. Try to get rid of the pop-up shop. Oh my God. Oh my God. They're like everywhere. It's through it all, we have to follow our intuition, that feeling. And you know what I'm talking about. You get that gut feeling too when something is right or wrong. You kind of get that uneasiness in your stomach when it's not the right thing to do. And so it's important to listen to that inner intuition that you have. Spirit gives this to all of us. We all have the ability to check in and follow what we feel divine source is leading us to do. Now, a lot of times it can feel like, well, there's nothing there, or they never listen to me, or I never get an answer. Well, with an attitude like that, you're right. They're not going to listen and they're not going to give you an answer. You're going to change that attitude around and wake up every day and say, okay, today I'm ready to hear what Spirit has to tell me for today. When we approach each day in that respect, you would be amazed at the miraculous things that will suddenly show up in your life. And you're sitting there going, wow, I didn't know that was going to happen. Who knew, right? So this is a chance for us to kind of check in with ourselves for February. Make sure that we're heading in the right direction that we need to go in. But in order to do that, we have to listen to our intuition. We have to listen to that gut check that we get. And we have to take that little bit of me time every day, kind of talk to Spirit and say, okay, what you got for me today? And trust me, they will start showing you exactly what you've got to do that day. Now, it may take a while for you to get to that point where you get that clear of an instruction, but it's all a learning process. And most of us who do this, who are intuitives, who are readers, who are psychic, I mean, maybe for a handful of people, it's like a light switch gets flipped on and suddenly, boom, you're plugged in. Most of us grew up with this feeling. Little things, you know something, you feel something. Maybe you hear something or you see something out of the corner of your eye. And it's your decision at that point of, do I pay attention to that or do I just blow it off as that's just something weird happening? Again, it all comes down to that gut check. Make sure that you're listening to your intuition because it's not going to steer you wrong. Because when it's something that's not going to be good for you, you're going to feel it in your stomach. I mean, everything comes down to the core us. And honey, you're going to feel it, and you're going to feel it strongly, especially if it's not the right thing to do. And so it's just time. February, I feel like February is a month to kind of take care of us. We've got some volatile stuff that's coming in the months ahead. A lot of people are going to be fighting tooth and nail to not just try to restore the rights that have been taken away from us here in the U.S., but to maintain the ones that we still have. Because we're not just dealing with one man and his opinions. A corrupt man was put into the office of president and is surrounded by people who won't tell him no. He's got a Congress and a Senate and a Supreme Court that have literally rolled over and played dead. Whatever you want, dear master, you've got. And so this is a real testing time for those of us in the U.S. and even around the world, because it affects everybody. So this is a really important time for all of us to do that gut check. What am I going to do about this? What I see happening right outside my door is wrong. What am I going to do about it? And that's part of what we have to face every day. Is in the words of Sean Connery in The Untouchables, what are you prepared to do? No matter what they throw at you, what are you prepared to do? And that's how you move forward. That's how you get out of it. So what are you prepared to do? Think about it. We've got more battles coming. They're not going to be pretty at all. Just warning y'all now. I have been for a while. Now, eventually, it's going to swing back the other way, and things will get better, a whole lot better. But in the meantime, we got to be in it to win it, you know? What are you prepared to do? So that's where I'm going to leave you this month. Y'all have a great February. Tomorrow's my son's birthday, so we're going to have us a little king cake and sing happy birthday and all that fun stuff. And we'll talk again soon. All right. Oh my God, the pop-ups all over the place. I don't understand. All right. Y'all have a great day. We'll talk again tomorrow.